So, but we're the only ones on. Only one person. It's called talking to ourselves.
Maybe the hedges haven't gotten.
This PC is yours or it's from the
No, it's for
office?
sure.
Can it run on a battery without being plugged in? Let me see.
No, it's gotta be plugged in.
No, look, it's got some battery. So maybe tomorrow you'll be able to move it over there. You watch this icon. When the icon empties out, then you know it has to be plugged in again. You can just keep this.
All right, gentlemen, we're gonna get.
Did you get anybody else?
We're on Zoom and we're the only ones. Where are you sitting?
I hope Rabbi, he's a new member of the committee. Rabbi Mayor Zayon, Zayon. He joined the committee. And Tova Zimmer is supposed to be on. She's supposed to be here any. She. Okay. All right, so. Right, Rabbi Zayon was supposed to be on Zoom. Herschel Senate said if he can, between his doctor's appointment, okay, he would get on Zoom. Didn't hear from Jack at all. Okay. All right, and you said that Marvin is in the hospital. When did he go in? He's had some cellulitis. Okay. All right, okay, first, I'll let Rabbi Kranzler give a quick review and evaluation of how he felt in his last program. But not everybody has signed up yet, right? Not everybody that was there signed up. Right. Committed for next. He just passed. He passed away. And he's passed away. She passed away about a year or two ago. Any particular reason that Shmuel was not present? He couldn't make it. Right. I know. it's, but he's still continuing to support the program. Committed. Okay. Okay. Right. Right. Okay. So that also, what about anything further regarding Dr. Ira Epstein for March 12th? Okay, any concerns that that night is the first night that that after changing the clocks, that's when, that the double minions are gonna be affected, that an early and a late one? No, but I'm saying that the time, I don't know what time the second minion is scheduled for. Okay, well, those who have been coming in the past and are here will naturally come. Andrea takes care of that. There's been a flyer out, well, already, things like that. No, he did the Hatikva program 1 year, right? But he did a Hatikva. Yeah, okay. All right, so that takes care of that and your next program. Anything you want to say about plans for next year? Okay, you want to indicate who it is? Are you on board? Okay, so you've got two people. Okay, have you looked at dates for those events? Not yet. Yeah, I know. Okay. Okay. All right. Okay, David, what about, you want to refer to why don't you explain to other people that about the T-neck connection and how that might be moved to add to our existing. No, but this particular class. And Monday you have set up. So why would you that? I don't work very hard. People to come and something outside. The question is, okay. No, in other words, what he's saying, what David is saying is, there in TNET, it runs from 10 to 12, 10 to 1. Okay, the concept that we're suggesting is let's see if there's interest, particularly now as our shiurim here in-house begin to start. Here's an opportunity if somebody, okay, you're going to finish your shiur, let's say by the 3rd week in March, okay, roughly, right, mid-March, okay. We finished the rabbis and scholars and notation. Okay, that's finished already. Malcolm Morris is going to finish first year also mid-March. Rabbi has finished. Okay, so normally the only other thing that starts between Purim and Pesach, is we would do some sort of Pesach seminar, which included a couple of things. Number one, it included the rabbi's kashrut presentation, kashrut for Pesach. That has already been scheduled, and that's going to be March 16th. Okay, that Thursday morning in his usual slot. So then we try to get 1 or 2 other individuals. Right. So in other words, you're pretty sure that it would run. In other words, people could tune in as an option between roughly the end of the March or the middle of April till the end of the BMT semester, you're saying? And then we would further evaluate. That's usually in November, beginning of November. Well, okay, it's gonna only be presented in the building and not on their own. Okay. Okay, and that will, well, it'll either be in the building, in the library or in the auditorium. That's right. You have to, right, have to move that. This way you wouldn't, it's easier to move the screen and just roll it into the other one. Okay. All right. So that would be a new addition to the program. As I was saying before, right now, Rabbi Yaska's session is already set. Okay. I've approached two individuals, okay, who have not given Pesach Shiurim before to do so. Two of them actually approached three. Two of them accepted. Okay. Rabbi Kranzler has done in the past a couple of years, right? Doug spoke on the Haggadah. Okay, so this year, Rabbi Ken Shelf, who gave one of the rabbis in rotation, he's going to do one based on a book that he's written. Okay, I didn't bring the book with me, but it's called what? Is there any way of taking that? You don't have anything going on in the right? Taking those things and showing that you know, rather than you give us this. First of all, let me go back. Why is 10 o'clock on my head? Because I want to Let me just answer the question. Whenever time why can't you say, okay, and then show later? No, Marty is asking why don't we offer it here at, let's say, 4 o'clock in the afternoon before midnight? Are we not? We have tried Shiurim in the past in the afternoon. But, okay. Then maybe that gives us an option for our own people. Okay? To give Shiurim in the afternoon. Okay, so let's, all right, so let me just come back again. So I said, okay, so this, okay, so they, in a sense, the same, let's put it in this context. The same way we offer limited series of fields. Okay, this Pesach seminar is a limited series. It's usually 2 presenters plus Rabbi and Kashi for faith. As I was about to say, Rabbi Ken Shelf will do 1, and Rabbi Tzvi, Rabbi Rishon will do 1 as well. Okay, so Ken Shelf is going to have to do his through Zoom, but he's already back in Detroit, but Tzvi will do his. Okay? Now, there's also another example of a mini series of shiurim, and that's usually in the summer, right? We just usually we have a summer kollel, which is 3 or 4 individual speakers, each on one topic. That has usually been arranged through Rabbi Shabbatai at the okay, we've done that usually. I'm going to come back to that in a second. So usually we're going to, so at this point, he and I have been in contact. I've told him that we have been pleased with the last individual who's finishing up tonight, our seasonal Wednesday night Rash. We don't need another speaker for that, but instead we will look forward to having again a summer kollel kind of program, which is usually 3 or 4. Usually it's Wednesday nights. It depends also when they're available. And that was always done between Mincha and early Mincha Marav and late Mincha. Okay, for those events. For those, again, it usually preceded the Shabbat. Okay. Now, while I'm explaining that, that leads me to 2 quick questions. Number 1, Rabbi Kranz, what's going to happen with Mishnah Brura once we go to an early Mincha Marav, late Mincha? Doesn't matter which one he governs in. What matters is where is he going to give? Between the 2. That you've done it between the 2. I understand. Okay. Right. So would you continue to do it on Zoom? Okay, so you're going to clarify with the participants where you're headed after we go to an early lately arranged. All right, so you want a minimum of, do we need to indicate that to the board? Okay. I understand that. I understand that. I'm just trying to clarify because unfortunately I have to respond to the bulletin editor. And I have to be able to tell the bulletin editor what to put into the bulletin in terms of certain educational programs. And if once we have early Minkamara, late Minkamara, which is already going to appear and for that information is already going into this week's bulletin, which is tomorrow, then I certainly need to have enough information for next Thursday's bulletin. So if you can let me know between now and next Wednesday, I understand it. So all I'm saying is, if you can clarify that with them before next Wednesday, I can then inform the bulletin what to put in for a week from tomorrow. Okay? That's all I need. That's why I bring it up. Okay? Okay, let's go on to, okay, couple of other items. Okay, when Rabbi Kranzler sponsored the Yom Run back in memory of his wife Evelyn, we did what I'll call a video program, video lecture. Okay, that was Shuli Mishkin, right? That did okay, and she did you want to call it a tour, lecture of a location in it. Okay, the attendance was very presentable. Okay, and the question is now as we move towards Yom HaAtzmaut and Yom Yerushalayim, okay, in the past we have had either speakers or musical programs, or thanks to David, we have had some very interesting movies. One year we had a movie on Ben Gurion, if I remember correctly. One year we had a movie on David. Okay, so we've usually tried to, for those two events, we've usually tried to have different kinds of activities. Right. Right. Exactly. Okay, I don't think you're going to have him move, right? Okay. All right. Okay. So the dates that we need to keep in mind then would be Yom HaAtzmaut is April 26th, and Yom Yerushalayim and Yom Yerushalayim is actually on a Friday. Thursday night the 18th and Friday the 19th. It's a week before Shavuot. Shimon, any idea? You think they're going to move it in Israel? Yom Yerushalayim? Okay. Right, maybe you'll pull up your screens and let us know. No, I'm not. I was going to say, my suggestion would be that whatever we would do probably would be more advantageous to do it Thursday. Okay? We do have special davening in those occasions. Right? So that's not the responsibility of this committee to arrange the davening, but it is to arrange some sort of program. On the other hand, what we have done when we did the movies, okay, was we actually arranged for what Mike calls, would you call it, Israeli lunch. We arranged for those who wanted to order like falafel is what they gave us. But you know, it's like a box, the same way we would sometimes do for a lunch and lunch. A box lunch, okay, we would arrange with one place or another, to have a boxed Israeli lunch, and people were able to sign up, and as they do for lunch and learn, sign up for that in advance, pay their money, okay, and then they would come in and get the lunch, watch the movie, okay, if that's what we decide would be a program. If it was a musical program, what we did instead was make it more like a brunch. Right after the davening, right, May? I think that's what I remember. Right after the davening, or shortly thereafter, there would be a brunch, which may or may not be an Israeli style meal. Okay, and then there would be either the lecture or the program. One year, by the way, we had, I also think of the video that Steven Spielberg's sister, Nancy Spielberg, did a video on the beginnings of the Israeli Air Force. And it turned out that one of the people involved actually lived here in the southern Florida. And he actually came, right? He actually came and spoke at the same time as that. Okay? So we have had very, I think, worthwhile programs on those occasions, okay? Some more simply music and things like that. Others of a more substantive education, okay, basis. So the first question I would toss out is if we think that the Shuli Mishkin kind of lecture tour is viable, I'm sure she has others available. Would we want to consider something with through her? Okay, and she's an outstanding guy. I don't know if you knew her there. Okay, but I've gone. What happens is that the Herzog College, just before Tisha B'Av, has a 3-day conference for teachers of Tanakh in religious schools throughout the country. And a lot of, quote, foreigners, okay, come in specifically for that. Okay, Karen and I have gone a number of years when we arrange our summers in Israel. And in addition to that, they also do at least 1 or 2 guided tours that are of an educational nature. Okay, and Shuli Mishkin is almost always one of the people they choose to do these guided tours. So my feeling is that when they suggested that we try this with her, knowing already that I've heard, knowing already that I've seen her do other similar kinds of things. She once did a joint program where she was speaking from the tour point of view, and what's your name who wrote the book on Job? Israeli young woman, that scholar, she blanking out at the moment. Okay, Job. Okay, no, she has a major book out that she wrote on Israel. And then she has one on something else that will come back to. Okay. We had her speak here a couple of years ago. Ziegler. Right. Right. Okay. What? Right. Okay. So another. So yeah. So she and Shuli Mishkin once did a joint video program. Okay. So there is. So my point is simply there are available outstanding material that could be of interest. Okay, and it's not, it's not the same length per se usually as a movie. As a movie, I'm going to guess is going to run what, an hour plus. So this kind of a lecture that was probably how long? 40 minutes, 45 minutes. Well, if you feed them, you know, and then, okay, so the first question is, do we want to explore at least one video program for one of these two? Okay. Yes, yes. Okay, so, all right, so do you think that kind of a, particularly that kind of a topic would appeal as well to this crowd? Well, but whatever she decides is that, I'm not worried about the child because that's well within the framework of what we would normally say were it to be an entertainer or whether it would be a guest formal lecture. Okay, fortunately, I was able to push the outgoing treasurer to up some of them, up, not up, no, up some of the amount of money that should be going for education. Okay, all right. Well, anyway, so our suggestion number one is to see if Missouri, Michigan might be able to do similar programs for one of those events. If she's going to do the Jerusalem kind of thing, would that be better for Yom Yerushalayim that Thursday night? But the problem is that she do it live, and therefore, how is that going to? In other words, when she did make, she did the one you showed. Yeah, but was that live or was that? I don't know. Right. Well, but that, no, it's a pre-recorded. You think the talk, right? Is the ones for Torah in Motion pre-recorded? You know? Yeah. No, I know there's stuff. Okay. Okay. So who is willing? Would you and David work on that? Okay. All right. So, all right. So. Well, that's okay. All right. So, all right. Okay. So that thing then would be Thursday night, May 18th. Oh, God. Okay. It's an important thing. Okay. All right. So that's May 18th at night. If that doesn't work, then right. So if that's the case, then I would suggest make it for Yomi Yerushalayim, make it for Yom HaAtzmaut. No, I think we would need to know if they're going to change the date of Yom Yerushalayim and make it earlier. If they're going to make it instead Wednesday night and Thursday, which the rabbinate might do, okay, then I can understand that day. Right? Maish, how did you contact her for the program that you started? Oh, you have her direct telephone. Okay, so you'll get, okay. So you give her a call and you'll be able to find out, because given the date, we will need to want to publicize that. And if we're going to do a food related item, we're going to have to get follow up on that as well. Okay. All right. So what about, let's go then to the other option. What for which? For Yom HaAtzmaut? I would sooner want, if we're going to do a musical program, that's what you're suggesting, isn't it? Okay, I would think we would want to do something more connected with Israel. Okay, the question is, do we look locally, or do we look beyond the village and look at the? I'm not for Kabbalah time. For Yom Ha'atzmaut, Israeli kind of. I'm just raising the question. Okay. Okay, I understand that. So I'm saying the point, and we may have to pay for that, but again, that's a program, right? And we usually budget certain amounts for those events. Okay, especially if. So the question is, would there be, let's say, I just throw it. I don't have the name of the young man, but I know that a few years ago we brought a young man here who was a former pastor. Okay. No. Please. Yeah. Right. 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 When a Gentile reporting company finds a Jewish Hasidic singer. Anyway. Thank you. Right. Okay, so the point. Okay, no, but are we looking then for Yomi Yerushalayim for more of an entertainment oriented kind of event, or something more educated? Yeah. You want to follow up? Would you? Well, that's what we've tried to do, is have different kinds of programs for each of the events. The concern I have is just that April 26th is Yom Ha'atzmaut. It doesn't give us a lot of time. It's almost a long. And again, I get pressured by the bulletin director, bulletin editor, nightly to make sure I get my information. Okay. All right. So Shimon, you let me know. Okay. What? Yeah, especially when I get emails as well as emails as well as verbal reminders. Okay. All right. Okay. So right now we're looking into musical programs for Yom Ha'atzmaut, and you're going to follow up. You and David are going to handle looking into Sui Michigan doing some sort of a presentation. Okay. All right. Okay. Yeah. So call Montreal. Call. You know who's in charge there. You know him, right? He's really. He had mishpacha. Right. It's Kelman. Yeah, Rabbi Kelman. Good. Well, but so just follow it up. Find out what did they choose. Maybe there are things that if it's by neighborhood and neighborhood, which is often how guides will do Yerushalayim. Okay. There may be one or two more neighborhoods that are more people here would prefer. I mean, there are people here are always renting, oftentimes places in Yerushalayim over the summer. I've had 2 or 3 people approach me already. Where are you renting this from? Okay, so I have to tell them. Okay, I'm not renting. Okay. So, but the point being that, what? Yeah. All right, so you guys, the 2 of you, okay? I just want to make sure we're following up. No, that's for Yom Yerushalayim. Okay, that's, as I said, May 18th. It would be on May 19th, depending on when. What? Okay, Pesach is, got it quick. First singer is April 5th. What's that, Days of Awe, High Holiday book? What? That's a High Holiday prayer book, right? That book right there that you put on the page. It's produced by Hillel. It was for Hillel. Right. Well, it was because it was written for Hillel to be used in cross-denominational church. Okay? Put it in shame. Unless you know somebody who might use it. No, they're not going to use it either. I don't think they are. Okay, so one last item that I have to work. I promised it would be a short meeting. Shimon is going to follow up on that. Okay. Now, the last thing is that I wanted to touch on is one other program that would be forthcoming, and that is regards to Tikkun Leil Shavua. Usually Jack and Marvin are the ones who help handle that. They're both not well, and I don't want to miss in on them. So before I ask somebody else to handle it, I will touch base with them to see. In fact, Jack seemed to imply that he thought he would try to make the meeting. I don't know. This meeting. Okay. In any case, I will call and find out what Marvin is. Okay. But generally, that was not. There was. I would say it's more coordinating whether or not, besides Rabbi Yak, who else might be speaking that night or morning. Okay, usually, usually Rabbi Yasker speaks, and there usually been 1 or 2 others. Thank you. And Luz is May 25th is the evening, first night, Tikkun Leil Shavua, and then Shavuos is Friday and Shabbos. Thursday night. So it would be Thursday night, the 25th. Now, what Jack did previous year, he got some volunteers. He sent out email in advance indicating anyone who felt comfortable presenting should contact him. And he actually was able to set up a couple of presentations leading up to Shavuot. Okay, maybe they were between Mincha and Maariv of the 2 minyanim in the evening. I don't think. Mm-hmm. Right. So he would set up, he had a list of those times. I think that's what it was, Marty, right? Okay, he had a list of such days, those times. So if somebody felt they could give a half-hour shear on something related to shear, so close to it, they could sign up. If they felt they wanted to give a longer shear and wanted to give it on the Yom, okay, they could sign up for that. Okay, so we need to get that. And as I said, I will just touch base with them initially, whether Jack feels he's up to handling something like that or not. And if not, then I will touch base with other people directly as to where we're headed on that. Okay. I do want to indicate that we are again restructuring into a triumvirate, in a sense, the running of the committee. When the new brochure, what happens is when we start setting up, okay, thank you letters have already gone out for those who did the rabbi's scholars and notation and those who gave lunch and learn. Okay, and so that so in planning next season program, okay, that we've got a little breather on. Okay, but in planning next year's shiurim, okay, what happens is people are invited who have continued to give shiurim are invited to participate. If they do so, they're asked to provide a some sort of a right topic and a little 2 or 3 sentence blurb, okay, of what they're going to do. And then that is what makes up a good part of this brochure. In addition to the events Rabbi Chancellor arranges with a sort of bio or explanation of what it is, those are listed there, people presenting listed there. Herschel was the one who helped me this past year with Marty's advice as well to do the setting up who did what, when, which day. Sometimes somebody is invited and it turns out they can't give. Jack was going to give a whole series of shiurim on tefillah this, which he hadn't done, the past few years, and then unfortunately he took it. So as a result, we wound up juggling again the schedule. But that's where this brochure comes. Okay, and it's done through the office. Okay, Angie is a great deal of assistance, and she's the one who gathers a lot of the information. Okay, and that's where it's headed. Any questions? All right, so that is why I phrased it the way I did, is that we have mini-series. The mini-series of Pesach, okay? We have the mini-series in the summer before Tisha B'Av, and this is what I'm going to call Rabbi Angel's suggestion, a mini-series before Shavuot. Okay? Well, let's try it. Right. That's why I said it's a mini series. Right, for Shavuos. Okay. And particularly if we're not giving them a Zoom for them to individually do, that it's going to be held here in the building on Monday and Wednesday. That's a big commitment, you realize. 2 afternoons at 12 to 1, 2 afternoons a week. That is a fairly big commitment.
For most people,
I have lunch at 1 o'clock, it's early. Okay. All right, so that's, I will write something up, we'll share it. Anyone else have other questions, concerns, issues that they want to raise? Okay, I have begun that, that's why Tova is here as a new member of the committee. Rabbi Shimon Green is here as a new member of the committee. Rabbi. No, Rabbi Zayon was supposed to be on Zoom. He was a new member of the committee. This is through personal approach. I've also asked at least 3 other people to join the committee, okay, of which one of them has consistently begged off, okay, because of some family health issues. No, but the point is, person would be very good, okay, but because there's a family health issue, could not commit. I think I understand that. Right now, I'd like to continue one on. There are people that you know. There are people that you know. People that you know. No, you know more than that. You know more, half of A's there. Okay, all right, and I think that by indicating that you're, you know, a co-chair, a chair, however term we want to play, of the education committee, and we're looking at expanding. Particularly, I have been looking at people that, because I attend some of the shiurim, I see who attend. And that tells me they have an interest in education in the show. Okay? Now, it may be that my knowledge of people in the show is limited. Okay? Especially compared to my wife. Okay? But there are other people that know people in the show. Okay? And if they have a certain, I'll give an example. I have not met yet Rabbi Kalman Ginsburg. He's a new member of the show. He was at your shiur this morning. He's at the rabbi shiur. Okay. He comes to Minyan every morning. Okay. He usually sits towards the front near where you sit. Okay. I saw the name in the bulletin because I haven't had the chance. I don't think it's good to go up to him in the middle of thousands. Okay? But he's not the only person who has that title that is now a member of the show. Now, it may be that he oh, you get a few people in that range category. No? Who? Kinselberg? He doesn't have to give shiurim. To ask if he would like to be a member of the education committee. Okay, I understand. I have been speaking with Isaac Geld as to try to find out a time when we can set up. He has Yiddish movies with English subtitles. For example, the original Fiddler on the Roof. Okay. So I've been trying to think when, but they're only here till, like I think the 3rd week in March. So the question is, what, right? So I'd like to maybe try to at least run one of them. But the question is it better to do it Sunday morning, Sunday evening? You have book reviews on one side. Exactly. So give it the open night, open up Monday, don't open. People come out on. And then, you know, then on the week. So you know, we do a movie. It's already, Marty's point is good because it means people are used to thinking, oh, is there an event this Monday night? All right, Monday is. Okay, I've got to review when the book start in March. I don't remember if they're all here. One is coming Monday and then. Right, which reminds me of the question that I'm going to throw out to everybody. And that is, I don't know if we need the administration's permission. Okay, March 13th, and then on March 27th. So March 13th is coming, so that would be the 20th, would be that open. Yeah, but I gotta check on the date. No, but I'm saying, the 12th is that. The next book review is the 13th. That's Monday. That's already scheduled. March 12th is a Sunday night. Monday night, the 13th is Stanley Kaplan, and Monday night, the 27th is Without Formula. So we're talking the 20th is what he's suggesting. I will check with Isaac and see if that will work for him. That would at least give us one. Right. Yes, I just said the 27th. Now, I would like to suggest, and again, if you agree with me, I will bring it up either to Rabbi Yasser or to the current administration, that we give a name to the men's club book review series. Yes, exactly. Sam Coleman was the one who initiated. Now, David, by the way, David, yeah, right. But all I'm simply saying is, right, it wouldn't be able to do it for this first edition, but for next week would be very nice. Okay, the men's, you know, because it's called Men's Club, but it could still include Men's Club name in it. Sam Coleman Men's Club Book Review Series. Right? And I spoke to David Love. I've already asked him only at least 2 or 3 times already to see if he can find somebody new, somebody in the men's club, really, who will take on that responsibility and become helping to set up the book review. No. Yeah. Sam. No, Sam, he's not doing it. Yeah. And he set up, he contacted people. He spoke, he was in touch with them. Some of them responded with books. The only thing that had not been finalized was finalizing the date. And so somebody stepped in and was able, using that venue, to say, I'm just filling in for Sam because he's taken ill, and therefore just want to try to finalize it. Okay. Yeah, that's done. We're done. Okay. Okay. Yeah. All right. That's why you.
I'm looking at 3:19. I have 5 minutes left. Can I get it?
I'm sure he was.
The other night.
Just how you got. Something I saw, by the way, on the internet, just was showing the connection between Purim and the Nuremberg. Okay.